Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Pastor Eric Brown with Daily Manna for your soul. Happy Wednesday to you. I pray the Lord is blessing you real good right now. Look, just want to bring you a word of encouragement, something to help you along your way. And today that word is get comfortable being uncomfortable. Can I tell you today that may sound like a contradiction in terms, but I'm here to tell you learning to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations. That's a breeding ground for breakthroughs. That's a breeding ground for deliverance in God. That's a breeding ground for miracles that happen in your life. Because when you learn to get comfortable in the uncomfortable, I'm here to tell you that you put yourself in position where God can come in and show up and show out on your behalf. Learning to get comfortable in uncomfortable situations means that you're trusting in God, that you're believing in God, that you have faith in God. And in those situations, all those situations, put your faith and your trust under tension. And under tension, any muscle has no choice but to grow. I'm here to tell you, if you want your trust in God to grow, if you want your faith in God to grow, keep on being comfortable in the uncomfortable. Keep on doing what God tells you to do. As far as stretching out on Him, stretching out on faith, stretching out in faith, and see what God is gonna do for you. Because if God has promised it, God is well able to perform it. Somebody needs to get there. And sometimes what God wants to do for us is well beyond what we are capable of. But just because we're not capable doesn't mean He's not able. Somebody need to get that. I'm reminded of the children of Israel when God had first brought them out of Egypt, and God had them going toward the promised land, but He took them on a detour real quick and had them turn back into the enemy and had him and led them to the Red Sea. I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable to understand where they were. They were boxed in. I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable to look behind them and see Pharaoh's army bearing down on them. I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable. But God said this, that this enemy that you see today, you'll see no more forever. And God, even though they were in an uncomfortable situation, God still made a way out of no way, parted the Red Sea. They went across on dry land, but not only did they escape the enemy, but the enemy tried to follow them, and God drowned Pharaoh's army that day. I'm sure it was uncomfortable until God gave them that miracle. Or how about the three Hebrew boys? I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable to be the only ones in a multitude of people that would not bow down to an image crafted by Nebuchadnezzar. I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable when Nebuchadnezzar brought them before him and wanted to know what was the deal, guys. I'm going to give you one more chance to bow down when you hear the music and for them to refuse him in his face. I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable when he threatened them with the fiery furnace. I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable when he brought them to the fiery furnace and they had to watch the fiery furnace get heated up 7 times hotter than it was normally heated. And I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable when they were bound and thrown into that fiery furnace. But do you know what? God took the heat out of the flame. And while they were in the flame, they were able to stand up and walk around. And not only did they walk around, but they had company, for God sent the Son of God down to walk with them in the flames. Somebody need to get that. I'm sure it had to be uncomfortable, but their comfort came in knowing that God would not forsake them or ever leave them. I just wanted to encourage you today. What is it that God has promised you that looks too hard for you to do? What is it that God has told you would be that it looks like you'll never be able to get it done? Understand this, you don't have to get it done. That is not your job. Your job is to rest in the Lord. Your job is to believe in the Lord. Your job is to trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not onto your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge Him and let Him direct your path. path, because he wants to direct you to a victory, to a breakthrough, to a deliverance, to a miracle. And the only way he can do that is if you get comfortable and enjoy the ride. It's just like going to King's Dominion or some other amusement park. And when they put you on the ride might look dangerous. The ride might look thrilling. The ride might make you scared. But what do they tell you? They tell you to buckle up, keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle and enjoy the ride. And this is what God is telling you, to buckle up, get comfortable, settle down, even though it's an uncomfortable situation, and enjoy the ride. Because if you rest in God, if you wait on God, if you wait in God, waiting in faith, I'm here to tell you the end of the ride is going to be a victory for you in your life. Oh, I'm here to tell you, get comfortable being uncomfortable, and you'll see the victory come to pass in your life. Have an awesome day. Be blessed of the Lord. Peace.